I was in depression, closeted depression. I didn't know it. This is what depression was about until I started studying about it in my 20s and stuff. That's when I realized, oh, so what was happening to me back then for every alternate night, for every night was anxiety attacks at the age of that. And no one knew about it. No one, not even my father. I would just cry to bed seeking help from God. I was literally in a position 10 to 20 times a day where I would just talk to God and be like, just send my mother back. Take away everything I have from me, but just send her back. I need her. It was that bad. But because my mom faced cancer, my dad lost all his money because he tried his best to save her life. Everything. And that's when, the struggle started financially. Trust me, when I got evicted, I was very happy. I was like, maza aa gaya Big Boss mein andar, because I did what I had to do. I was emotional. I made friends. I had fights. I stood against what is not right. I was being scolded every week in Kabar. It was one of the biggest traumas of my life. Biggest. Because I can't explain how difficult it is for a woman to be in that position where suddenly someone just beats you and not one slap. It's a literal physical assault that you're going through where people are watching, people are coming in between and stopping that person, but that person is behaving like a monster. And then somehow these people are able to separate him, and then he goes in the sits in the car and he tries to run his car over you. That moment where you're being physically assaulted, not just that, but also where for 4 seconds you thought that you'll die because someone's going to run his car on you. It like my heart is beating right now, but I will never be able to get that image or get that feeling out of my body. Never. Basir knew. Because when this happened to me, I and Basir, we had a few mutual friends. And the person who did the physical assault on me, Basir knew him. So, in fact, वो post में मेरे I and Basir were not friends back then. We had just met each other twice. But he had commented also on that post, because it reached him. So he knew exactly which is exactly why he was caring for me, because he knew what I was going through.
Whatever good moments that you have had, like आपके फरहाना के साथ भी good moments थे, बसीर के, do you miss them as a human being?
I mean, you're asking a question to an emotional person. Yes, absolutely, because it was pure from my end, Subhajit. I don't care what narrative was gone outside. I don't care what narrative was created. I don't care what others or the audience think of me, because I'm also sane and logical to understand there's a reason why they dislike me, because it was shown a certain way. But I am an emotional person, and when I have to force myself to separate myself from someone that I cared about once, it is sad. Hey everyone, this is Nehal Chudasama, and आज मैंने बहुत ही प्यारा इंटरव्यू किया है, पॉडकास्ट किया है, and I had a blast because I shared a lot of things that I've not shared anywhere before, and I loved that Subhojit was all about knowing Nehal's core and not trying to know just the upper level of who I am as a person. I had a blast, and I hope you guys also have a blast watching it. So this is me with Subhojit for his YouTube channel.
Thank you so much. Like, share and subscribe. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Nehal, मेरे साथ यहाँ पे जुड़ने के लिए. I think this is going to be a very, very rock and roll वाला conversation. सबसे पहले मैं आपसे I want to start with the very basic. जो I think your latest Instagram post has created quite a lot of furor, right? I mean, tell us a bit about that, because लोगों को समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या है, क्या नहीं. There's a lot of confusion, so maybe people would want to hear it from the horse's mouth herself, right?
I think it's very clear from the caption. I've written a caption that's very relatable to the post that's still processing this day. Um, and it's nothing personal. It's about a shoot that I did. It's about my music video.
Okay.
And I'm saying that I'm still processing that day because you know it's my first music video after a reality show. And on the day of shooting also, Subhojit, I felt very grateful. I felt like I love being on sets. I've played characters, I've done 2 web series as a lead, and I love, absolutely love being on sets. For me, being in front of camera as an actor, doing any job
Correct.
is divine. Like, you know how people associate the feeling of love with divinity, for me as well. But also my work, being for work, karm, doing any kind of karm is next to divinity. So I was very happy. And I remember each and every moment of that day. There were tragedies that happened on set as well, which I am going to post on my YouTube vlog as
Yeah.
well. But I was just grateful. So finally, when I have to announce it, I couldn't think of anything with processing. You know. But I obviously it's a bit of twist. I like to get people engaged. I like to create curiosity in people.
Correct.
So I mean, yeah, that's
Fair
what it
enough.
is
तो
about.
बेसिकली जो चीज आप लोग सोच रहे थे उसको होने के लिए थोड़ा सा और टाइम है, बट एज ऑफ नाउ जब म्यूजिक वीडियो आएगा यू कैन एंजॉय दैट,
Yeah.
यू कैन वॉच दैट एंड यू कैन सी हर वर्क ओवर देयर. आई वांट टू क्विकली गेट टू द वर्क पार्ट एज वेल.
You're actually the first one I'm sharing this with.
Yeah, एग्जैक्टली, ऑफ कोर्स.
Trust me, I posted that yesterday. And I've got a lot of people call me, message me, but I've not picked calls because, of course, there's a lot going on behind everything as well. So, but because we committed to this podcast today, I was like, okay, let me just.
The fact that you still valued the time and the commitment
Yeah.
that आप share कर रहे हो, I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for that. I want to quickly get to this one point. You unfortunately lost your mother at the age of 13, right? And then I think when you were 21, you were representing India Miss
Yeah.
Universe, right? 13 से 21, my basic maths is correct, 8 साल, not even 10 years, right?
Yeah.
For a 13-year-old to lose the most important part of a life, deal with all that crisis, थोड़ा बहुत अकेले करना होता है, because I mean at the end of the day father है जो भी है, but एक लड़की का जो soul emotion होता है ना, nobody picks that more than the mother, right? You've dealt with all that, and then within 10 years, in less than 10 years, I'm sure you yourself, when that day happened, आपने शायद नहीं सोचा होगा कि 8 years down the line you would be representing India, right? What a proud moment.
Yeah.
जिस दिन आप कर रहे थे, you were remembering your mother that day, आपके passing thoughts क्या चल रहे थे दिमाग में?
Wow, you've shared so much, and I have so much to say about everything that you've mentioned. So I was 22, and I lost my mom in 2008, and 2018 I was representing India. 7th December she passed away, and I think my finale was on 8th December or something. So you know, on that day, 7th December, I was in Thailand representing India a day before my mom's 10th death anniversary. Coincidences on coincidences, but it was quite a journey, Subhojit. Like the way you mentioned that your mom passing away at the age of 13. See, when she passed away, I didn't know what it was going to be like, you know. As a kid, I still remember when her remains were, like, all the rituals were done, and my dad and my brother came back home, and I was sitting on the window, and I was asking this question to myself, like, something really different has happened to you. Like, this is the thought process of a 13-year-old, right? Like, and how is my life going to be like? How is it going to be different or good or bad? I don't know. I had no clue. And somewhere I was like, you know, I feel like it will nothing be major, because 8 months my mom was away from us. She was from one hospital to the other, chemotherapies, KEM, Tata Hospital, then other hospitals. So I was like, then probably it's going to be like this only, you know, talking to mom on call. Mom, yeah, I did school, I did this, that. And last few months, though, I hadn't even spoken to her too much, because she would always be, you know, like just lying on the bed, not having the energy to speak also, to move also, because it was that bad. So I thought maybe life aise hi chalegi, you know. But trust me when I say this, I have seen the darkest part of life, the darkest part of life as a teenager. As an early teenager, I was just getting into my teenage years, you know, and being a daughter, being a woman without a mother by her side, growing up, not knowing what womanhood is all about, it was crazy, crazy. I can't even explain it. I was in depression, closeted depression. I didn't know it. This is what depression was about until I started studying about it in my 20s and stuff. That's when I realized, oh, so what was happening to me back then for every alternate night, for every night was anxiety attacks at the age of that. And no one knew about it. No one, not even my father. I would just cry to bed seeking help from God. I was literally in a position 10 to 20 times a day where I would just talk to God and be like, just send my mother back. Take away everything I have from me, but just send her back. I need her. It was that bad, but yeah, I got myself out of it. Yeah.
जब in fact you mentioned that she was in hospital and there was a time जब आप उनको ज़्यादा देख भी नहीं रही थी. You were still in school, right? For a young girl, कौन से क्लास में थे आप उस टाइम पे?
I was in seventh.
Seventh, right?
Yeah.
Maturity is still starting to hit. उतना नहीं होता. I would say that maturity to bifurcate between what is work and what is personal life उस एज में बहुत कम होता है, right? So I just want to know that जब वो चल रहा था दौर, was it becoming very difficult for you to focus on your studies? Because घर पे अगर इतना ऐसा माहौल है तो इंसान या बच्चा पढ़ाई पे या जो उसको उस टाइम पे करना चाहिए, जिस चीज़ पे एक्चुअली फोकस होना चाहिए, उस चीज़ पे फोकस 100% कैसे करेगा, तो वो आपने कैसे बैलेंस किया? बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे यू गॉट टू स्टडी एज वेल, मार्क्स भी लाने हैं, अगले क्लास पे भी जाना है. एंड द कंटिन्यूएशन टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज कि सिंस यू मेंशन दैट आप बीच में काफ़ी टाइम बात भी नहीं हो रहा था, मेंटली अनफॉर्चुनेटली डिड यू ऑल्सो एक्सेप्ट कि ऐसा कुछ होने वाला है? डिड यू सी दैट कमिंग एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम?
So I'll tell you, I was a very bright kid. My parents, I have a brother as well, but my parents, जब भी वो क्लास में एंटर करते थे ना, ओपन हाउस में, रिजल्ट्स में, they would have this hope that my daughter's name will be on the board in top 3. So that's the kind of student academically I was. And I was absolutely smashing it in sports and cultural activities. Like, you know, when they say that Sharma ji ke bete ko dekho, like, my parents would be so proud of me that मेरे डैड का एक डायलॉग था ग्रोइंग अप, कोई भी रिलेटिव्स घर आते थे कि मेरी बेटी तो कुछ कर जाएगी, मुझे इतना पता है. ही हैड दैट मच कॉन्फिडेंस ऑन मी एंड ही न्यू दैट शी इज़ एन ऑलराउंडर, acing it academically very well. So when this happened, I lost it all. I had no time to study. I was in depression. I was crying. I had no time to study because I was taking care of my family. I was cooking for them at the age of 13. And it was horrible. My dad would get vegetables and I would cut, and then he would help me. My brother would help me. But all my time went behind cooking for the family, cleaning the house, which I'll tell you something, I am not fascinated with at all. Like, there are lots of girls who like organizing and cleaning and cooking, but I don't like that. Growing up, I was a complete tomboy. I wanted to play sports. I wanted to do everything else but be in the house and, you know, do all this stuff. So for me, that was an absolute opposite switch. And because I had a mom, I never had to do all that stuff, you know. She would always sit on my head to beti hai kar. But I would never understand that why do I have to do it and not my brother, you know. But then it was a 180-degree switch that I had to do all of that. And suddenly my dad, like, obviously I understand what kind of pressure my father was going through as well, losing a partner, life partner, then creating his way out of his work along with taking care of his kids. So it was very difficult for him as well. But he was under pressure, so he had no option but to ask me to do things, you know. I academically, like, studying wise, I had no time for myself to study. Whatever studying I'm doing in school, that was it. And then there was this struggle of what will I eat? I will have to cook to take tiffins to school. I will have to cook something to take tiffins to the classes. And there have been days, Subhojit, where I've starved myself. And my classes teachers have called my father that what is happening to her, she's fainting. I would sit on the last bench and have sudden anxiety attacks when I would be in, classes, and then I would be breathing heavy, and they would call my father that take her home, she's not well. There have been such instances a lot. So academically this has affected me a lot. Even culturally, I couldn't participate in sports, I couldn't participate in dance functions because I had to reach home at a certain time to cook food, to take care of the family, to study. So I think for approximately 5 6 years my life was doomed. I was clueless. I had no, like, I am struggling with these emotions. I want something, I want my mother back, but I want to do something in life, but I have no time for it. And it really it created a different human being. And I feel uh, like I was an empathetic kid, so I would feel all these emotions a lot, way more than any other kid in my class or any other person I know would feel. So I just felt like I was getting pushed each day in that dark zone, every day one step lower. So yeah.
um, जब eventually your father was guiding you कि आपको ज़िंदगी में कुछ करना है एक्सेट्रा, एंड यू मेंशन दिस थिंग वेरी क्लियरली कि योर फादर ऑलवेज हैड दैट बिलीव कि यार मेरी बेटी तो कुछ ना कुछ करेगी, राइट?
Yeah.
In a way, I believe he was not even encouraging towards you in terms of helping you out with pocket money etc. because
Yeah.
वो चाहती थी कि आप पैसों का अहमियत और ज़्यादा समझो, खुद के
True.
पैसे अर्न करने का जो एक वैल्यू है, रिस्पेक्ट है, उसको और समझो. In a way, do you think that has also helped you to become the kind of self-made person that you are today? वो सब जो ideologies जो आपके फादर के रहे in terms of pushing you कि धकेल दो पानी में, स्विमिंग करना खुद पे खुद सीख जाएगी.
आई थिंक ये आइडियोलॉजी पेरेंट्स की नेचुरली होती ही है. बट मेरी सिचुएशन में ये हुआ दैट आई केम फ्रॉम अ वेल टू डू मिडिल क्लास फैमिली before my mom passed away. But because my mom faced cancer, my dad lost all his money because he tried his best to save her life. Everything. And that's when, the struggle started financially. Um, there's one thing that has helped me, Subhojit, and even today I think of the same thing. I think I shared this also somewhere on social media someday, I don't remember. But when my mom was in hospital bed, I remember that day. It was the day when she got to know that she was in last stage of cancer and she cannot do anything. And she cried her heart out. And उन्होंने पूरा ward अपने सिर पे उठा कर रखा था उस दिन. She called me and she hugged me. She cried for a long time. And she told me one thing. And I will always keep that close to my heart. She told me no matter what, how much, no matter what you become, no matter how much your dad has, whatever, always be independent. She said, always be independent. Do not ever be dependent on your father and your brother. And that stayed close to me. I did not understand that when I was 13, but when I grew up and I think about that moment, and every time I surpass a difficulty or obstacle, I think of my mom that this is what she meant. Do not be dependent on anyone ever for anything. And I think that has pushed me to earn money or to do better for myself. Yeah.
13 जब आप थे, and of course suddenly a wave of responsibility came your way. You have to take care of the family as well. घर के खाने बनाने से लेके सब कुछ, academics भी देखना है, सब कुछ करना है. In a way, when that thing happened, did you start feeling mentally maybe 18 or 20 because of which इतना अचानक जिम्मेदारी आ गई अपने ऊपर? Did you suddenly feel a disconnect with other 13-year-olds around you? Did you feel that?
Absolutely. And I feel like, so I've always been more precautious than my age. And because of the same experience, and it's a good thing also, it's a bad thing also, because suddenly you're 13, but you can, it's a good thing in a way that you can have a conversation with a 20-year-old, 25-year-old as well. You can share things that a 30-year-old has not experienced, but so it's a good thing. But I feel like I never had that teenage time in my life, like those kids what they do at the age of 13 or 14, the kind of masti, kind of fun they do. I never had that. And that's probably why when I became very self-dependent, very independent, I probably am living those years now sometimes, you know. So it's a good and a bad. Every coin has two sides. But yes, I do feel sad that that age was taken away when I had to actually live it. And I could never relate with the kids of my age. When I would go to classes and they would be talking about things and I would be like internally I'm like, you don't know what life is. Imagine a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid when others are discussing something, problems or happiness, and I'm like, at the age of 14, I am thinking in my mind that, bro, you don't know what life is. But I know, you know, not with a feeling of feeling superior
Of
to
course.
them, but something way more deeper than, you
An
know, like
average
what.
13 or 14-year-old
Yeah.
faces.
Yes. Yeah.
जब मिस यूनिवर्स में आप इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे थे, नॉट एवरीवन विल बी encouraging, सब आपको हाइप नहीं करेंगे, राइट? देयर विल बी अ सेक्शन ऑफ पीपल हु विल हाइप, देयर विल आल्सो बी अ सेक्शन ऑफ पीपल हु विल फील लाइक कि आप डिजर्विंग नहीं हो, आप क्या ही कर लोगे ज़िंदगी में, या मिस यूनिवर्स जैसे जगह पे आप कैसे चले जाओगे, एक्सेट्रा. जब एक्चुअली में आप गए तो वो क्रिटिक्स लोग को मुंह तोड़ जवाब आपने काम से तो दिया, बट डिड यू एवर गेट टू सी देयर रिएक्शन मे बी इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू? ऐसे लोग जो शायद आप पे सवाल उठा रहे थे पहले, सडनली दे ओनली स्टार्टेड टू बटर यू, या फिर यू नो अरे यार नेहल, तो बिकॉज अब वो होता है, पहले आप पे सवाल वही उठाते, फिर उसके बाद जब आप जिंदगी में कुछ थोड़ा बहुत कर लेते हो तो दे वांट टू बी स्वार्म अराउंड यू लाइक बीज, राइट?
Yeah.
तो वो आपने एक्सपीरियंस किया?
I'll tell you, like, two groups come in my mind, okay? Let's talk about pageant. When I went for pageant, Subhojit, trust me, I've never had criticism. Thoda sa constructive criticism here and there, yes, but I never faced criticism because my life story was like an open book to all the pageant fans. And I'm not talking about Indian pageant fans. I'm talking about worldwide, global pageant fans. If you go through, you know how they have these predictions that, oh, yeah, maybe India will win or this will win. Or every prediction, 9 out of 10, every prediction had India in top 3. Because of my life story, because of my stage presence, because of my communication skills, because people knew that if this girl, if India sits in interview, she's going to nail it. If she reaches top 5 or top 10, she will nail it with her answer. That, I think that's what Indian representatives are known for as well. But I never faced criticism. I remember when I went to Thailand to represent all the former Miss Universe India's and Miss Universe, Sushmita Sen, Lara ma'am, everyone was rooting for me because my organization had really high hopes. Internationally, every organization was like, we think India has a chance that year. So I never faced criticism when it comes to pageantry. But not specifically criticism, but the place that I come from, the society that I come from, these people had never seen anything like pageant or being on stage, never even imagined themselves there. So that part of society, for them, I was too up there doing things, you know. And I also realized that I don't belong here anymore for me to be affected with what they think about me, you know. But then I won Miss Diva Universe, and there was a whole procession in my school and my college and my society, and everyone was very participative. I mean, even today when I think of those days, I had a whole procession walking in the lane 1-2 kilometers in a car, and everyone on the street was like, oh my god, she's here, because it was everywhere on the news. I just feel grateful about those moments, and I still hold it close. I've lived my highest highs in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, criticism, never back then, but some today. Yeah.
नेहल, जैसा कि आपने कहा कि बिकॉज यू कम फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड ऑफ पेजेंट्स, स्टार्टिंग में देयर इट्स अ वेरी रॉ एंड अनफिल्टर्ड स्पेस, राइट? आप जैसे हो वैसे ही हो, लोग आपको वैसे ही देख रहे हैं, एंड लोग आपको रियल टाइम देख रहे हैं, राइट? ऑन द कॉन्ट्ररी, जब आप कोई रियलिटी शो में जाते हो, भले उसमें नाम रियल हो सकता है आप 10 में से 10 चीज़ कर रहे हो, लेकिन दिखा जा रहा है ओनली 3 या 4 चीज़, राइट? सो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर पीपल टू अंडरस्टैंड or correlate that image with this
Yeah,
image, right?
true.
Which is why you said also कि आपने पहले कभी उस तरीके से criticism face नहीं किया.
Yeah.
But after Big Boss, things turned out to be hostile in multiple ways, right? Uh, do you think कि ये कारण है because of the format of the show, जो आपका real, genuine, authentic एक nature है, वो दिखाया नहीं गया, due to which, and in fact negatively to an extent, कुछ जगह पे portray किया गया, which has turned a lot of people against you, जो शायद genuine, अगर आपका genuine aspect समझे, तो शायद आपको they'll fall in love with you, but they are not like that because of the way you have been presented.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you something. My pageant fans have seen the Nehal who comes out of nowhere, comes from nowhere. They've seen me struggle through years. I won in 2018, but I tried that pageant since 2014. You know,
4
I've
साल
been
की मेहनत.
हाँ नहीं 2012 से I started following it, and 3 years I constantly audition. But again, coming back to, they see the Nehal they relate with, the real Nehal, where she comes from. But the reality audience has seen an accomplished person. You know, a Nehal who's already a Miss India, a Nehal who already has earned money, you know, a well-styled, well-groomed Nehal. They don't relate with this person, which is why they don't know the real Nehal. And of course, second, the narrative that was set, you know. मैंने बहुत interviews में पहले भी कहा है, I understand Big Boss, for makers, it's a business. They can't just, you know, like, अच्छा जो हो रहा है वो होने दो. They have to set a narrative, and they, you know, Subhajit, in India, a woman with sharp features, exotic features, good body, is seen as a villain, antagonist. It's very easy to cast her as an antagonist. Very easy. But even a person who does wrong but has soft features and, you know, like is cute and someone you can relate with, you know, beauty wise or look wise, that person is nice. You know, so, and I don't understand that why. So I think probably that's why they must have thought that it's very easy to villainize her. Also, because I'm very outspoken, I am not scared of sharing my opinions, even if 5 people don't agree with that. Even today, and I think that's who I am, that's who I will be. Even if 5 other people don't understand me, I'm okay with that. You know, like once when I was 23, someone who I really respect and is a big name in the industry, that person came to me and told me, you know, Nehal, you're very unconventional. And I was like, I was confused. I was like, what? Like, why? That person told me you're unconventional look wise. You're very unconventional in the choices that you make, unconventional in the way you live, the way you behave, the way you dress up, which is why people will not understand you. And when people don't understand something, they don't like it. They hate it. It was very difficult for me to accept that back then, you know. I was like, no, I'm not unconventional. I am girl next door. I am someone people will like, and blah, blah, blah. Then came a stage in my life where I accepted it. I am unconventional. I am different. I am a person who everyone is not going to understand because I do make unconventional choices. I go against the wave. And then finally I came to acceptance that it's okay to not fit in. I was not born to fit in. I am born to be unconventional and do what is right for me, what makes sense for me. And I think this is my core, and I'm okay with not being liked. But again, the narrative. Yes, that narrative was set for me. And when I came out, and, you know, trust me, when I got evicted, I was very happy. I was like, maza aa gaya Big Boss mein andar, you know, because I did what I had to do. I was emotional. I made friends. I had fights. I stood against what is not right. I was being scolded every week and kabar, picking things. I would be like, why would
That scolding part also you showed grace. आपने कभी उल्टा जवाब,
नहीं,
like a
कभी
lot of other people,
Yeah.
आपने वो कभी नहीं किया, which I
Yeah.
also saw.
Yeah.
मुझे याद है अच्छे से.
Because for me, it's like respecting the other person. Even if it wasn't Salman sir, it would have been anyone. I would have still respected them because they are someone who's accomplished so much in life, way more than I have, you know. And I don't feel like arguing or debating with someone that way. So I was like, okay, cool. बट आई वुड ट्राई, मैं बहुत बार ट्राई करती थी कि मैं अपना पर्सपेक्टिव वहाँ शेयर करूँ, मैं अपना मैंने क्यों किया जो बोला वो क्यों बोला और क्यों किया, बट आई वॉज ऑलवेज शट डाउन every time. I remember this one instance, one of the weekend ka war, when the other contestant and I was getting scolded for saying something, and I was like, sir, let me share my story. I'll tell you where I come from and why I said what I said. They were like, no, you keep quiet. And the other contestant like, you tell us your story. What are your struggles? I was deeply saddened in that moment. I wanted to cry my heart out and I wanted to yell and say that I want to leave this house right now. Because why is everyone behaving that way with me? Why are people being biased here? But I held my ground. I was like, it's okay, calm down. I meditated in that moment. I had tears in my eyes, but I didn't let it flow. And I was like, take as it comes, surrender. But yeah, I have felt, I felt multiple times in that house that something is not going right. There is something that's not working in my favor, even after doing everything right. And when I came out, I saw, yeah, now I know why. Because I saw things that I couldn't believe. I was like small instance, my reactions were shown, but their actions were not shown, which is, I understand why the audience started not liking me, because my reaction was shown and they would question that reaction, that why is she behaving like that? Is it just for the camera? Is it just because she wants publicity or she wants to be seen, or no? It's simple. My reaction is shown and their actions are not shown. And I was devastated looking at that. I'll tell you the kind of anxiety attacks I've had when I lost my mother, yeah, for those 5 years, is the kind of anxiety attacks I've had, Subhojit, for 2 months after exiting from Big Boss. 2 months. There was twice when my family wanted to hospitalize me because it was out of control. And the same anxiety attack I've had in the 50 also, when the doctors had to medicate me to get out of that situation. Because obviously I didn't have the time to heal after Big Boss. I did 50 immediately and I was still working on me and there was a lot going on. So yeah. But it's just sad how, like, I've worked very hard to be the human that I am, to do what I do, to work, and just to be sitting here today. And now the whole world misunderstands you because a business had to be served a certain way. And some people or someone thought of narrating me a certain way. And I still don't have any complaints with them because they're doing their business. So, yeah.
आपको लगता है कि what I feel, this is the second time I'm meeting you, but first time also जब आपके साथ मैंने बिग बॉस के तुरंत बाद इंटरव्यू किया था, now today, you emote through your eyes as well, जो मैं समझ सकता हूँ देख के,
Yeah.
right? तो मुझे लगता है, my observation, correct me if I'm wrong, you're deep down very emotional, but because of the outer world and जिस तरीके से वो आपके साथ रहता है, आपको ऐसा कोकोनट बने रहना पड़ता है, where you have to be very harsh sometimes from the exterior in order to protect that emotional quotient of yours, because you can't let it be damaged बार बार, right?
Yeah.
क्या आपको लगता है कि उसी हार्शनेस जो शायद आपको लाना पड़ता है so that the world doesn't manipulate that or misuse it, उसका लोग फायदा उठाते to work out their narratives? I'm not talking about Big Boss show, I'm talking about others in the show. उस चीज़ का फ़ायदा उठाया जाता है कि चलो यार इसको नेगेटिव दिखा दो, इसके साथ ये करते हैं, इसके साथ वो करते हैं, लोग गलत समझेंगे तो इसको समझेंगे, बिकॉज शी हैज़ ऑल्सो मे बी रीच दैट स्टेज वे शी विल नॉट एक्सप्लेन हरसेल्फ टू मच, तो वो ज़्यादा एक्सप्लेनेशन देने नहीं जाएगी, एंड बिकॉज वो एक्सप्लेनेशन देने नहीं जाएगी और लोग हिट करेंगे. इट्स अ कॉन्स्टेंट लूप एंड साइकिल. यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग,
Yeah,
राइट?
yeah. I think that was the answer. No, it was when I said it was easy for them to villainize me for the same reason. Because my exterior is tough. Because, yes, sometimes I don't over explain. So I feel like it can anytime be used. Anytime be used. But I'll tell you, my best friends, my girlfriends, I have more girlfriends than I ever had male friends. I'm friends with my best friend for over 15 years. And they always keep telling me that, because they know the soft person and emotional person that I am, and they've seen me go through every phase of my life. And you know, there's one dialogue she always keeps is तुझे बचाने की ज़रूरत है. We need to save you because sometimes I get so invested in people because of emotions. So invested, not just in the people that I know or the people I care about, but a lot of times with strangers also. Like you would just randomly see me sitting on a bus stand and my friend is coming and I'm talking to some stranger and she's asking me what happened. I was like, bro, her life, like I'm crying because what the stranger shared with me, and I'm like, her life is, I'm shook. Like she literally dragged me to a mandir after that, that you need to get rid of this energy now, Nihal, because I absorb energy.
Aura
I
cleansing.
do, exactly. And so that's why she always keeps saying, we need to save you, we need to save you. So that's the kind of person that I am. And in fact, I got a feedback also after Big Boss, that the feedback was, you got too emotionally invested in people. And my answer was, because that's who I am. But that didn't work for the show. And I was like, okay. And then I spoke to this other contestant after the finale and when we were going to Dubai. And that contestant said me the same thing.
Who was that
I
contestant?
can't name. I can't name, but that contestant told me the same thing, that तुझे पता है तू बहुत इमोशनली इन्वेस्ट हो गए लोगों में. एंड आई वाज लाइक, आई नो. एंड that person told me that that's what I didn't do. I was like, good for you. Yeah, that's about.
Um, आपने जो आपके ऊपर फिजिकल असॉल्ट का द इंसिडेंट दैट हैड हैपेंड वो शेयर किया था, एंड आई मीन इट वाज वेरी वेरी रेकलेस ऑफ दैट पर्सन. आई थिंक वो गुस्से में थे, वो गाड़ी जिस तरीके से चला रहे थे. आई रेड दैट स्टोरी समवेयर इन एन आर्टिकल, राइट? Was your first heartbreak, was that your first heartbreak or the first trauma that you had from any man coming towards you? Was that the first incident?
I have faced gender equality throughout my life a lot. A lot. From school, colleges.
You mean gender inequality?
Yeah, gender inequality, every aspect of life. You know, Subhajit, today, आज भी मुझे एक DM आया था एक लड़की का. I don't remember who she is. But बहुत लोग ये बोलते हैं कि तुम इतना woman empowerment, woman card play करते हो, ये वो. And my only answer is, a person who's experienced gender inequality throughout her life, what are you expecting from that person? I have this wall where I have to prove myself that I am a strong woman and I can do things. I don't have to be second to my male peer. And so again, it's not the first time I have faced something like that, but it was one of the biggest traumas of my life. Biggest. Because I can't explain how difficult it is for a woman to be in that position where suddenly someone just beats you, and not one slap. It's a literal physical assault that you're going through, where people are watching, people are coming in between and stopping that person, but that person is behaving like a monster. And then so somehow these people are able to separate him, and then he goes sits in the car and he tries to run his car over you. That moment where you're being physically assaulted, not just that, but also where for 4 seconds you thought that you'll die because someone's going to run his car on you. It, like, my heart is beating right now, but I will never be able to get that image or get that feeling out of my body. Never. Even today, when there's a loud noise around me at home, और कुछ गिर गया या किसी ने कुछ तोड़ने के लिए 2-3 बार, it scares me. It scares me that shit, like, what is going to happen? What happened? I just loudly, I said, like, if dad is doing something, making noise, like, Papa, kya hua? You know, like, it scares me. I will never be able to explain that. And I don't think I will. I mean, I'm trying and learning to accept it with a lot of ways, meditation and this also, sorry, yeah, counseling, therapy, but it is something that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
How old were
Yeah.
you at that time?
It was like 8 months before Big Boss.
So
Yeah.
by then you had represented India in Miss Universe,
Yes.
right? आपने इससे भी, I mean, a lot of negative things which should not have happened आपने तब तक झेल लिए थे, you have conquered all that
Yeah.
and you have done good for yourself, right? So I want to understand, of course जो हुआ वो हुआ, but आप इतना नॉनसेंस एक एक लड़के से उस टाइम पे क्यों ले रहे थे? डिड यू आस्क योरसेल्फ दिस क्वेश्चन लेटर कि यार इतना मैं सेल्फ सफिशिएंट हूँ, मैंने खुद अपने ऊपर इतना बन के आई हैव प्रूव्ड माई एटलीस्ट माई सेल्फ टू, इफ नॉट दुनिया भर के लोग नहीं देखे, खुद को तो साबित किया है कि मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. सो मच मोर टू डू. व्हाई एम आई टेकिंग सो मच नॉनसेंस फ्रॉम अ मैन?
So, Vijay, the point is, I wasn't taking nonsense, and that's why this happened to me. So, I think I've shared it on social media that for months and months I was being stalked by this person. Basically, sometimes people can't take rejection, you know, and then they start stalking you and behaving like psychopaths, and that's what had happened. And okay, I ignored it 2-3 times, giving it a benefit of doubt that maybe it's a coincidence that this person is at the same time, but then you're on streets and that person's car is right next to yours in vague places where there's no prediction or possibility of that person being at the same place as you. So then I was like, and then I have friends I'm chilling with, and they are shocked that how is this person here? How does this person know that you're here? At a point, it reached to a point where I and my brother were like, I think this person has some GPS put in your car or something. I got my car tracked down. I did everything. I watched the settings on my phone. I did everything possible to understand why and how is it happening. The day when I went to confront it, when I couldn't take it anymore, I went to confront it very politely that why are you doing this? There was a simple question. And I told that person that, see, I have witnesses, I have proofs of all the places you've been stalking me. That's when that person flipped in anger and started abusing me. And he broke my car. I had to give my car for insurance, repairs and everything. And then it happened in the car. The physical assault started in the car. Then I moved out. And that's when things happened outside and people were stopping and it didn't stop. It happened in a span of 1.5, 2 minutes, all of this. Those 2 minutes, I was shook. Now the question that you say that you've conquered everything and, like I know the person, the woman that I am. And even after being a self-empowered woman, if this is happening to me, all of that was coming to me in that point. And what can I do? The only thing, today, Subhaji, there are so many cases where women have committed suicide, where people question women that when your husband or whatever, you were going through domestic violence, why didn't you leave that place? Or what did you do to revert back? Because I've experienced that moment myself. You shook. Your body is just like contracted. You don't understand what to do. The max I could do in that moment was push that person. But my physicality was not enough to throw
Of
that
course.
person away, So that's the max I did. And
And also उस time पे process immediately नहीं होता. It takes
nahi
time to
hota.
process.
Yes. It takes like those 2 minutes felt like probably 20 minutes for me, And even after that, I went to police station and everything, and I was processing and I was like, what just happened? What just happened? And I'll tell you something, people question women these days, but I'll openly tell you, police don't take your complaints that soon. They don't. I was outside police station for 2 hours, minimum. I had to take help from other people to ask the police to take my complaint. It wasn't. Even after being who I am, if that topic was not taken seriously, legally, then I cannot imagine what the women who don't have power or are not self-empowered enough, how difficult or impossible it is for them. So when today I see comments and everything, outside that, oh, why didn't you leave? Or why? It takes a lot of strength, Subhajit. An impossible amount of strength for a woman to just take a stand for herself. So, yeah.
क्या वही फिजिकल असॉल्ट के फ्लैशबैक्स आपके दिमाग में अचानक आ गए थे जब अमाल के साथ वो इंसिडेंट हुआ?
Yes. And I don't know what happened outside, but I wish people had understood it was that, because for those 2 minutes when that assault happened with me, I told you, I was shook, I felt powerless. I felt this small in front of that person, you know. I felt like I don't have the power, I don't have strength, I have nothing in me, you know. And psychologically, for those who will understand, who listen to me, the same thing happened during that task, you know. I felt very weak in front of a man. And that's what happened to me. This is actually the first time I'm openly speaking about it. But I felt weak in that moment. And I felt like I can do nothing. And this is exactly how every woman who goes to physical assault must be thinking, that I'm weak, I cannot do anything. And why I can't do anything? That's the question that comes to you.
इनफैक्ट आई रिमेंबर वेरी क्लियरली उस टाइम पे आपने ये क्लियर भी किया था कि अमाल इट वाज नॉट अबाउट यू
Yeah.
बट स्टिल द हेट दैट केम योर वे बिकॉज लोगों को लगा कि शायद आप ऐसा दिखाना चाहते थे कि अमाल ने ऐसा ऐसा किया एंड ही असॉल्टेड एंड यू आर ट्राइंग टू अगेन प्ले दैट विक्टिम कार्ड अगेन दैट सेम थिंग वाज बीइंग द नैरेटिव वाज बीइंग ट्राइड टू यू नो आपके साथ चिपकाने का वो कोशिश था बट यू क्लियर्ड दैट राइट बट
And not
Amal-
once, not once
multiple
or
times
twice.
आपने कहा था
Everyone, to Basir, to Farhana, to everyone who came to me, to Amal himself. Imagine I am in the most vulnerable situation. I have the strength to drag myself out of it, to go cook food for the entire house, then go sit with Amal myself. I told him because I could see him in guilt. And I didn't want him to feel that guilt. I didn't want to. That was not what I wanted. It was me, it was my problem. I had to deal with it. I called him myself, that's Sunamal. And I told him myself that it's not about you. But I mean, I can only blame destiny or someone's negative PR. But yeah, that happened.
इनफैक्ट आपने अभी जिस कहा कि अमाल के पास भी आप जब गए थे बात हुआ था आपने उनको बोला फरहाना बसीर जब आए थे उनको भी आपने ये सेम चीज
Yes.
बोला राइट बट डिड फरहाना बसीर और इवन अमाल तीनों में से किसी ने आपको ये सामने से पूछने की कोशिश की चलो ठीक है इफ इट इज नॉट अबाउट मी क्या था नेहल हमें बताओ
Basir
शेयर
knew.
करो
Basir knew. Because when this happened to me, I and Basir, we had a few mutual friends. And the person who did the physical assault on me, Basir knew him. So, in fact, वो post में मेरे I and Basir were not friends back then. We had just met each other twice. But he had commented also on that post, you know, because it reached him. So he knew exactly which is exactly why he was caring for me, because he knew what I was going through. You know, he knew exactly what I was going through. That's why उसकी जो फाइट हो रही थी अभिषेक के साथ वो छोड़ के वो संभालने आया
आपके
था
पास
कि
आया था।
क्योंकि उसको पता है इसको क्या उस घर में से उसको पता था क्या हो रहा है. So yeah.
यू नो आई डोंट वांट टू गेट डीप इनटू व्हाटएवर जो हुआ है बाद में आई मीन दैट्स योर पर्सनल लाइफ में उसमें नहीं जाना चाहता फॉल आउट एक्सेट्रा आई मीन भगवान है अगर कोई दिन वापस दोस्ती ठीक होना होगा नहीं होना होगा नहीं होगा राइट बट व्हाटएवर गुड मोमेंट्स दैट यू हैव हैड लाइक आपके फरहाना के साथ भी गुड मोमेंट्स थे बसीर के डू यू मिस देम एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग
I mean, you're asking a question to an emotional person? Yes, absolutely. Because it was pure from my end, Subhajit. I don't care what narrative was gone outside. I don't care what narrative was created. I don't care what others or the audience think of me, because I'm also sane and logical to understand there's a reason why they dislike me, because it was shown a certain way. But I am an emotional person, and when I have to force myself to separate myself from someone that I cared about once, it is sad. It is sad. But I'll tell you, I try my best always to fix things. Always. I'm a fixer. My friends call me a fixer. And a lot of times they tell me that you don't always have to be the fixer. You know that, Nehal. But I am that way. I'm born that way, and I'm very proud of that trait also. But sometimes I feel like a person doesn't want to fix it when they know they're guilty. Right? So I think that is what has happened. And now I have reached a point where I've detached myself. It's a forced detachment, but it's been enough disrespect in every way. So now I feel like, you know what, Nehal, this is not worth your energy. You have a lot of people that love you, God's grace, that understand you, and you don't need people who don't want to understand you or don't want to sort things out because they are guilty of something. So, yeah.
इनफैक्ट आपने जिस तरीके से ओपन अप करके अभी बात किया, आई एम श्योर द ऑडियंस एवरीबडी विल बी प्राउड ऑफ इट. आई वांट यू टू शेयर अ मैसेज फॉर ऑल द पीपल मे बी हु आर हैविंग मिसकंसेप्शंस अबाउट यू, जो आपको शायद आपके पूरे ज़िंदगी की कहानी के बारे में ठीक से जानते भी नहीं है, बट वो होता है ना कि दे आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग द क्राउड इन टर्म्स ऑफ हेटिंग यू, राइट? व्हाट वुड यू लाइक टू टेल देम in order to make them understand it's not that कि you have to ask them to love you, that's their choice.
Yeah.
आपको जो प्यार करते हैं वो करेंगे, जो नफरत करेंगे वो भी करेंगे, but who are having this biased approach towards you, उन लोगों को जो आपके लिए hate फैला रहे, उनको आप क्या कहना चाहोगे so that maybe they take out some time to actually understand who Nehal is, maybe their perspective about hate will change. उनको आप क्या कहना चाहोगे?
See, after months of being on this healing journey, Subhajit, also a very close friend of mine, he told me that Nehal, when someone has determined to hate you, nothing you do, no amount of good you do in this world is going to change their opinion. Nothing. And trust me, I have shown people who I am. I do what I do on social media, or when I did 50, or when I meet people in person. Nothing has been able to change the minds of people who are determined to hate me. So I have stopped trying. The only message to them is believe what you want to believe. Think of me as who you want to think of me. Good for you. I'm not going to sit here entire life and prove myself what kind of person I am. And I'll tell you, like, I believe in spirituality and I believe in surrendering. Truth will always come out. I've always, lots of experiences in my life from the age of 13. I have realized that a person who willingly does something bad to me, the truth has always come back. The karma has always come back. And everyone who's not liked me or disliked me or hated me for something that I have not done or I'm not, have actually fallen in love with me later. And trust me, I have messages even today. It's been, I think, 6 months to Bigg Boss now. I have people who have texted me that, you know what, Nehal, I feel like we misunderstood you. And I'm glad. I'm okay with these people. I'm not sitting here to prove anyone, Subhajit. I'm not. I want to work that makes me happy. For the people who meet me in person, they absolutely fall in love with me, and I'm okay with that. People who hate me, good. And I'll tell you something. People only hate on social media. Only the profiles that don't have a profile picture, that don't have a legit name, no followers, nothing. They are the people who always spread hate. So if you don't have the courage of spreading hate on someone with your real identity, which means it's not hate, it's your inner problems or fights that you're dealing with in your life. You just want to bark out somewhere. And that's absolutely okay. Like, I feel like I'm way above the level where I will sit and prove myself and fight with people now. I'm done.
My second last question to you is that कि आपने mention किया that you're a very spiritually inclined girl, right? कौन से जीवन में वो शंखा थे या moments थे where maybe you were unable to figure out things for yourself, but your connection with spirituality helped you understand the deeper aspect of things?
I think just like 2 years before Bigg Boss, I think 24, 23, I was, that's exactly also when I started my spiritual journey. And I was helpless, I was clueless, I was struggling emotionally, and every way I was struggling. And I feel like that's when this calling came to me, the spiritual calling. And I've learned Sudarshan Kriya, and I wish I had done that in Bigg Boss, but anyway, it would have helped me be grounded. But yeah, I think this calling came to me then. And it has helped me go through that phase with so much ease. Like, my friends were like, how do you do this? How do you get out of bed every day and still be the happy jumping monkey that you are? How do you push yourself to work out and come chill with us and spread happiness? How? And I'm like, just do Sudarshan Kriya, babies. So, but yeah, meditation really helps. It really helps. Yeah.
Nehal, I think this is the first time I've had this kind of a descriptive chat with you, and
Yeah.
I think what I feel is that you're a young girl who's very vibrant and go-getter type, but someone who wears her emotions on her sleeves. ज़्यादा दिखाने की कोशिश नहीं करती है, बट कभी कभी वो दिख जाता है बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ यू रॉ एंड नेचुरल यू आर, राइट. माई आखिरी सवाल टू यू इज एग्जैक्टली दिस की a young girl out there, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, who also wants to pursue something on their own, be a self-made person in this world, जहाँ पे अगेन नेगेटिव मेल एनर्जी होगा, नेगेटिव क्रिटिसिज्म होगा, उनको आप क्या कहना चाहोगे? बिकॉज यू आर अ लिविंग एग्जाम्पल ऑफ हाउ टू डिफाई ऑड्स, नो मैटर व्हाट चैलेंजेस कम. अगर आप किसी चीज़ को ठान लेते हो, you at least go very very close to that, and of course journey is miles to go before you sleep, but उन young लड़कियों को आप क्या कहना चाहोगे watching this podcast?
मैं वही कहना चाहूँगी जो मैं कहते आई हूँ सुभोजीत, एंड it's a purpose that I hold very close to my heart, and I feel like I am on this planet on earth for that, is to encourage others and to make them believe in themselves. I always, whether I go to a party, whether I go for a podcast, whether I go for whatever, a public event, and I have the mic and I have the opportunity of changing one person's life to make them believe in themselves, I will do that. I'll do that like 10 times a day. So to all those girls who are 10, 11, 12,
Or
you know,
even higher,
anyone,
but they want
yes,
to
even
do
40,
something.
50, there's no age to lose self-belief. I'll tell you, I am 29 right now. I could lose self-belief when I'm 35 or 40, but I would always want to remind them that believe in yourself, believe in the thoughts you're having, believe in the choices you want to make, believe in your dreams, believe in your ability to actually go and get those dreams, even if it means going against all odds. Like, I don't know if you've seen my picture when I was 16. I had nothing. I was this kid who was overweight and, a girl who would never be in front of camera, who could never be in front of camera. I've had instances where I've shared with my friend just found out an app on my phone. It called a pageantry app, and he laughed his ass off. Sorry, remove that word. He just rolled on the floor and laughed, and he was like, "You want to do pageants?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was unbelievable for these people that girl could be on stage or be walking a certain way, talking a certain way, represent her country at the biggest pageant there is out there, or be an actor at this day. It was unbelievable for them. But I could do it only and only because of self-belief. Because when I had these dreams in my mind, I had 1,000 reasons to drop those dreams, Subhojit. 1,000 reasons. And there have been times where I gave up. I was like, no, okay, my dad wants me to get married at 18. I'll do that because that's what he wants, But I don't know, there was this self-belief in me who would keep telling me, you can do it, you can do it, you will do it, you are doing it. So from that girl to someone who was standing on Miss Universe stage, or someone who was in Big Boss, which is millions of people's dreams, or who probably would be going to Hollywood. That's what people expect me to do. But I do have this self-belief, and I want girls especially to have this self-belief, because I'll tell you why. Growing up, that belief is been snatched away from women. Growing up, women are being told, तुम ये नहीं कर सकती हो, ये मत करो, ऐसा मत करो, you're not supposed to do this. So that takes away that self-belief, it makes a woman very weak and vulnerable. And आप सोचो, आप जब कॉन्स्टेंटली 10-15 साल किसी इंसान को ये बोल रहे हो कि आप ये नहीं कर सकते हो, तो उसके पूरे 50-60 साल इसी बिलीफ में जाएंगे कि मैं ये नहीं कर सकती, मैंने ये नहीं करना चाहिए. So I want, if I have broken that for me, myself, I want girls to break that for themselves also. This mind, this thought, or this stereotype that you cannot do certain thing because you're a woman. So I think I'll spend my entire life in encouraging and empowering women to believe in themselves. Yeah.
आई थिंक सेल्फ बिलीफ इज द की एंड
Yeah.
जिस तरीके से कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ शी हैज मूव्ड फॉरवर्ड इन हर लाइफ सो फार आई थिंक वी ऑल कैन जस्ट होप एंड बी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक अबाउट द फैक्ट दैट ऐसे ही वो आगे बढ़ेगी एकदम शेरनी की तरह दहाड़ेगी एंड वट एवर द हेट इज इट्स ओनली वन पार्ट ऑफ इट देयर इज सो मच
Yeah.
लव इज वेल टू कम. Thank you so much Nehal for joining me over
you.
here for a very very special chat and मैं आपके लिए एक प्यारा सा तोहफा भी लेके आया हूँ.
Yay! I
Once
love
again.
gifts.
So this is for you, a special
Thank
kurti from
you.
our fashion
Okay.
label. Yeah.
Thank you. That's
And-
so sweet.
And I hope that you like it whenever you wear it as well.
I'm gonna wear and I'm gonna tag you.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Go
gonna
forward.
style it in multiple ways.
Go forward. You already know your style game better than at least
I
a lot
love
of
it.
others. So
I think that's my art expression.
absolutely. बहुत shukriya, ladies and gentlemen. That
Thank
was
you for
Nehal.
having me, Subhojit, and thank you for not asking me the conventional questions. इनके साथ क्या हुआ, इसके साथ ये वो. I think a lot of people, especially from the reality background, they don't, as I mentioned in the beginning itself, they don't know who Nehal is. They just know this fighter side of Nehal or antagonist side of Nehal that I'm not. But thank you. I've been to a lot of podcasts and people provoke me to answer certain questions, and then there are thumbnails that I don't intend to have. But thank you for showing the human that you are. And yeah, I had a blast.
I think हम लोग ने खाली दिल खोल के बात किया एंड रिस्पेक्टिंग सर्टन थिंग्स. सो आई होप आप लोगों को ये एपिसोड अच्छा लगा हो. प्लीज डू शेयर योर थॉट्स इन द कमेंट्स बिलो.
Yeah.
Whatever reels, YouTube shorts that we put, वहाँ पे भी comments डालो and give her all the love. You know, she deserves every bit of it. Come on.
Love that to all of you in advance.